Now, from tornadoes to droughts, southern West Virginia has had its fair share of natural disasters this year. Chief Meteorologist Chad Mill captures the sights and sounds from our busy weather year.
We've been through a lot with you this past year. It's been a very active weather year here in southern West Virginia. The Heiko tornado that moved through in early April completely destroyed the forest that you see behind me. It's just a small sample of the major weather events that we covered in 2024. We had the crux of our snow last winter in two storms around Martin Luther King Day weekend, a whopping 10 inches of snow in just 1 week. The accumulation rates won't be as high as they were last night, but overall a great storm here in southern West Virginia. By the end of March, we were preparing for the severe weather season, hosting a joint press conference with the Weather Service. This event helped foster awareness of how folks can get ready for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. This is the 50-year anniversary since that outbreak. It could happen again, but we want folks to be aware of the possibility of severe weather across our region. So again, that was a setup for the event and the survivor stories, which you can see on the website. So thank you very much.
And I looked out the window, porch window, and everything was flying, and I turned around and he was starting ahead of me into the kitchen to get somewhere smaller, and I could hear it going whoo, whoo, whoo.
Then boom, in the first week of April, a squall line flattened trees and knocked out power to thousands in southern West Virginia. The fourth tornado on record to touch down in Fayette County slammed Heiko. An EF2 with winds of 130 miles an hour injured one person as it swept across Midland Trail in Heiko. Before we fully transition to summer, another squall line ripped through the region, knocking out power to thousands on May 26th.
It got so dry, the heat was so bad that the farmers have to reseed in the spring to get their desirable species growing again.
Mother Nature turned off the faucet this past summer. For the first time in the 25-year history of the Drought Monitor, West Virginia was included in the highest level drought category. The landscape became famished and farmers lost thousands of dollars.
You go and look at the amount of water that fell outside the New Basin, up in the upper Tennessee. There were some areas up there that received 15 to 30 inches of rain. We estimate we average about 6 to 7 inches of rain through our basin. So if that storm had shifted a little bit further to the north and the east, we could have seen the dam a lot higher.
Mother Nature pulled the trigger on the hurricane season in late September when 5 to 6 inches of rain drenched the region and gusty winds caused considerable damage as Helene swept through the southern and central Appalachians. This comes on the heels of what was one of the driest Octobers on record across the East Coast. It was the driest in Delaware and New Jersey, very close to the driest in North Carolina after they got a ton of rain from Helene. The next month went totally quiet as the region saw its second driest October on record with just over 1/4 of an inch of rain. The drought and dry October sparked the Highland Fire at the beginning of November, but fortunately crews contained it before it got anywhere close in magnitude and size to the Steep Valley Fire from 2023. With the December 1st storm, it accumulated on paved surfaces and the plows were out and it caused some slippery travel. We have definitely made up for lost revenue in the precipitation department with the recent spat of cold temperatures and snowfall.
Totality is here, no kill. Breaking news. The peak of totality was just a couple seconds ago.
And along the journey in 2024, we saw a slither of the total solar eclipse. So, is this the first time you've seen the Northern Lights?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so far, what's your experience been like for the past couple of hours?
It's awesome. It's amazing.
And of course, the Northern Lights made an appearance locally. And there's no rest for the wary. We see a cold to potentially very snowy pattern setting up in January, so we will keep you abreast of any changing weather going forward throughout the new year. Chief Meteorologist